And good morning, good morning. I'm not sure if my head's cut off. It looks to me as if my head is cut off. It looks as if you're only seeing a part of my face, everybody. But anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, I'd like to say good morning, of course, to my spirit guide Grey Eagle, who as always is standing to my right side, and Chris. Good morning, Chris. Hello, hello. And
Hold on, Rosemary. I
Chris,
got to
good
make
morning.
you. Good morning. I pressed the wrong button to make you go on the big screen.
I was thinking I was talking to myself. Is my head cut off, Chris?
No, you're great. You're in perfect position.
Okay, all right, because it looks to me like, you know, you can only see my just above my eyebrows. Anyway, all right. So, good morning, everybody. And good morning, Chris. Um, so our topic. What is our topic today? I mean, come on, everybody. You know what time of year it is, right? Uh, it's so fun for me because I have no Christmas ornaments up. I have no Christmas tree. Are you starting to feel sorry for me? I have no. There's nothing in the house which says Christmas except somewhere behind me. I do have a Santa, but I'm not sure that you can see him. And I really only fetched Santa Claus out because Chris insisted that I do something. Um, but um, when we do this show next Thursday, you will see a gorgeous Christmas tree, a Christmas village. You hopefully might even see an excited little boy because next Thursday will be the night before the night before Christmas. So it'll be the day, Thursday will be the day before Christmas Eve, and everybody that I know is getting sort of revved up for Christmas and excited for Christmas, figuring out what they're going to have to eat, figuring out who's coming, figuring out, how they can enjoy uh, Christmas. Or I do believe, a lot of people celebrated Hanukkah. It's that time of year, isn't it, when we try so hard not to think about the devastations that happen in this world, but mostly to think about the joy and the expression on our children's faces. When Santa Claus comes, we try to think of the good things that are about life. Having said that, I would like to briefly mention that our hearts do go out to the awful catastrophe that happened a few days ago. Um, Chris, can you explain exactly what happened? It was a tornado, I do believe, right?
Yeah, definitely a heavy windstorms tornado that happened in the Midwest, and people had no warning. And there are a bunch of families right now who are grieving the loss of nearly 100 people because of these storms.
So we just would like to say to everybody out there that our hearts are with you, and we also thought it would we'd have a little bit of discussion because Chris, you know all about this, but we all of us all through our lives experience loss. If we're lucky, we haven't experienced the loss of someone really close to us, but most of us, at some point we all will, won't we? My father, when he passed in, 1976, and the reason I remember it so clearly is my daughter was 6 years old. In 1976, my father had a massive heart attack. One minute he was here, and the next minute he was gone. Or so many people thought. I knew that my father had been ill for quite some time. I'd inadvertently gone to visit one time and I found sort of hospital appointments, that sort of thing, because he actually had thrombosis. And I'm sure that, he may well have known that his time was coming, but he never said a word to anybody else. So when my father died, to all intents and purposes, it was to me so sudden, so quick, and such a dreadful, dreadful shock. Not being able to say goodbye to our loved ones, the people who have just died in the hurricane, the tornado, not being able to say goodbye, not being able to sort of, say I love you, or whatever it is, that those last words that you would wish you had time to say to somebody, is an awful thing, a terrible thing. But we believe, of course, that no one dies. We believe that life continues on. And I was very, very fortunate this week. I had spoke to some wonderful people this week. I've been speaking to people in the West Indies. I've been speaking to people in India. Briefly to somebody in where, Singapore. I mean, I've been all over the world this week, and but one of the most poignant moments of my week this week was when I was talking to a young, beautiful, beautiful young girl, gorgeous young girl, who died of a terrible brain cancer. And her parents, it's always difficult for me when people come and they say, I've lost my child. I really want to, so desperately want to do my best for them. And I have to explain there are no guarantees. I can't guarantee that it's going to work. I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to talk to anyone in the spirit world on any particular day. So what I do guarantee is that I'll try my very best. Fortunately for me, and also for the parents of this young girl, we didn't have any trouble. We connected really, really well. She was a darling. She was a darling to talk to. She was a darling when she was talking to her parents. And at one point, her father said to me, she had the most beautiful eyes, and she had the most beautiful hair. And of course, my eyebrows raised, because I have this young girl standing in my living room looking at me with the most beautiful eyes and the most beautiful shining hair. That word had, they had, he used to do. So I had to say to the father, please don't do that. Don't talk to her as if she did exist but does not any longer. Please don't talk to her as if she's in the past, because the young lady that I'm seeing here is very much present with me and does have beautiful eyes and does have beautiful hair. Of course, they knew that they hoped and prayed it wouldn't happen, but they did have a chance to be with their daughter and to be with her while she was sick. But so many of us, and Chris, I'm going to sort of, ask you to say something in a moment or two if you'd like to. But so many of us, we lose our loved ones so suddenly, so quickly, and then it's hard to grasp the idea that they are still around us, isn't it? It's hard to grasp the idea that life continues. And again, with this wonderful couple and this beautiful child that I was able to connect with and to talk to, her parents were saying, we had such hopes. She had such hopes. She had such hopes, such ambitions, such aspirations. And their daughter was able to say to them, yeah, but I still have. I didn't die. I'm going to school. I'm learning. I want to become a healer, which was exactly she wanted when she was here on this earth. She'd hoped, she had aspirations to be a doctor. So her aspirations hadn't changed one little bit. And so it's hard for us, and especially at Christmas time, it's hard for us because that is the time when, to lose someone before the Christmas holidays, before the celebrations, got to be very tough. But to lose someone at all that we love is obviously very, very tough. But here, everybody else at Christmas time is talking about joy and happiness and all the rest of it. when we are absolutely devastated and crying and desperate and you know, we don't want to hear, you know, the Christmas carols being sung. We don't want to experience the joy because in our hearts we are devastated. But our loved ones in the spirit world, even those who have only recently passed, even those who passed this morning or yesterday, our loved ones in the spirit world want us to continue our lives, and they want us to understand that they continue their lives also. So, as hard as it is, and as tough as it is, and as tough as it is to face the fact that you didn't get that moment, that chance to say what you would have wanted to say, if you knew it was going to happen, the last words that you could possibly utter to your spouse, to your sister, brother, mother, father, your children, what would we say to them? And when someone goes very suddenly, we of course we don't get the chance, or do we? Because they're still listening, they're still around us, and they're still very much part of our lives and very much a part of our family. So as we go into Christmas celebrations, and as I look into my grandson's eyes, I do see my father. And I know that my father is certainly with my daughter and with my grandson, even though it's whatever it is, 50 something years or so since he passed, or almost 50 years since he passed. And, you know, even after all that time. And another thing that happened was I spoke to a grandmother, a great grandmother this week, whose granddaughter, great granddaughter said, "Oh, you know, I remember her when she was a little girl, but of course she's been gone for more than 40 years, Rosemary. She can't, you know, but she did, and she can. So even though we think that we have lost our loved ones, and even though it's hard for us to celebrate, so many times I hear people say, people in the spirit world say, you know, they request, can you hang a silver star, whether it's on the Christmas tree, whether it's above the doorway, whether it's in the window, can you hang a silver star? And when you see that silver star, know that I'm shining bright and I'm still your shining star. I hear that a lot, and especially around this time of year. So let's have some, Chris. Well, let's. Do you have anything to say about what I've said? So if you'd like to, if you don't want to, just say so, and then we'll go into questions and comments.
I mean, the I guess I have a couple of things to say for everyone out there who has suffered a recent loss. My husband passed in June, right? So I kind of consider myself in the same boat as you. And I understand all the firsts that happened during the year. And this, for me, is the first Christmas without Mike. So it comes with its own challenges, let's put it that way. Um, and last year I had given Mike a kitten for Christmas. And so now on my Facebook posts, the anniversary of, you know, him holding his baby kitten, those types of things pop up in your Facebook feed. So all these things sort of come crashing down and make you feel the loss more than the memory of all the good times. And I'm fairly able to quickly change it and say, you know, my belief, what Rosemary has taught us all these years, that we don't go before our time. So there must have been a reason for this to happen. But it doesn't make the pain go away. And it doesn't make the little guilts that try to trip you up not appear. But all we can do is be gentle with ourselves and gentle with those around us and just take it one moment at a time.
And I think that it is worth mentioning, because you mentioned it, Chris, the guilt. And I know that guilt is very much a part of grieving. If only, if only I'd been there. If only she hadn't been where she was, or he hadn't been where he was. If only, you know, he hadn't been in the the wrong place at the wrong time. And when people say that to me, I actually point out that because death, because the ending of a life uh, in our human form is inevitable for every one of us. Um, I believe that there is no wrong place and there is no wrong time. I believe that, when it is our time to go, that's what we do. So we're always, as far as God is concerned, as far as the universe is concerned, it's the right place and it's the right time. Because remember, and I want all of you to sort of think about this, all of you have suffered a loss or are missing your loved ones. Death is not, and I say this often to people, death is not a punishment. It's a beginning. It's a new beginning. It's an extraordinary adventure. It's an incredible and a wonderful adventure and an experience that we all will go through. So, even as we are grieving, I do urge you, for the sake of your loved ones in the spirit world, for their benefit as much as for your own, um, smile. That's your husband's comment, Chris. I've got Mike standing here. I knew he was going to pop in today because I heard from him earlier on. Smile, he says. Try if you can to smile, because smiling is what gives us courage, and smile is what fills our hearts with joy. And he's blowing you a kiss, Chris. So that message is not just for you, it's for everybody. All right, so let's see if we can have some comments or questions, can we?
Well, Barbara started out right away saying, I would like to ask if you could send healing to my Yorkie, Tommy. He's at the hospital today to see what's going on with his liver, so please send healing.
Absolutely, we absolutely will.
All right.
Please let us know how he gets on, would you?
All right. Then we have Stephanie saying, I just lost a baby in September, and her twin is in Children's Hospital, born at 31 weeks and 31 plus 4 weeks with PA/IVS. Their due date was December 23rd. So she's wondering for any type of message to help her through.
Um, you know, uh, I've seen this more times than I can count. Um, and especially with twins, I'm not quite sure what it's about. Twin souls, perhaps. One stays here with us, one leaves, but never really leaves. One helps the other. So I think that, if first of all, we shall send healing to this child, and please let us know what's going on. Please keep us updated on the progress. But we'll definitely send healing. But please also know that that little one has an angel in the spirit world which will stay for as long as she stays here. They will always be together. It's so hard. It must be so hard for you. It must be so painful. And it's Christmas, isn't it? So it makes it sort of even harder to bear in some ways. Except, what a miracle that your baby has an angel. What a miracle that you birthed an angel. I mean, so I've seen it happen so many times. That one twin stays and the other one doesn't leave, but leaves in a way that we don't perhaps understand, and is able to help and to steer and to guide, and that is their mission, and that is what they've chosen. So please keep us posted on the progress of this little one. Please let us know how you are doing, because we're not only going to send healing to this little one, we're going to send healing to you too and to your family. Chris.
Cheryl's asking, why would a soul choose such horrible ways to die?
Oh, well, how long do we have on this show? How long do we have? And I don't think it's always necessarily that we choose a particular way to die, but And I don't actually think we necessarily choose when we're going to go, but we do choose to explore the mission. We do choose prior to our birth here. We do choose to experience those things that will give us the most spiritual growth. Chris.
Carolyn's asked or commenting, it's a wonderful thing what you do. Still find it so amazing. Wish we could all see the spirit world.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yes, I've been reminded of that this week because whenever anyone says to me, they've lost a child, um, Chris and I were talking about this just the other day. It really resonates with me. I'm a mother, so, and I'm also a very hands-on mother, and I'm a very protective mother and grandmother, and so I think it resonates with me because I am, I'm one of those smothering mothers. I have to watch myself sometimes because I can be a bit overpowering at times. But whenever I have someone who has made an appointment with me, like this happened this week, and I know that I've really got to come up to scratch. I know that I've got to do the best I can do. It's not that other times aren't important, they are. I always try to do my best for everybody, but when it involves a child, it's sort of, added pressure, which I probably put on myself. It's nobody else putting the pressure on, it's me putting the pressure on. But I always think about it really hard, and in this particular occasion this week, this beautiful girl that I was talking to in the spirit world, she really did touch something within me, and I've not been able to get her out of my mind or out of my head over the last several days. I keep hoping and thinking, did I do enough? And I think I did. Um, I think, I think everybody, certainly she was happy, her parents were happy. It's me who, because I have such high standards and I put such pressure on my, excuse me, on my own self to do the best that I can do, because I know that in their shoes, I would want everything. I would want everything as much as I could get. So, I just feel that I'm just as amazed and delighted and excited and hurt and in tears. And I find it also very painful very often. Um, but yes, it is also very joyful. And I think that's what we must keep in mind, the joyfulness of being able to do this. And Chris, I think you said the other day to me, I wish we could see what you could see. maybe one day we will all see. Chris, keep going.
Shamanth says, is there any message from my departed brother-in-law, Nagesh? I had asked this question a few weeks ago, but you didn't receive any message from him and asked me to ask again later. So is there any luck?
There is not today, but keep trying. We did an amazing seminar last Saturday morning. We we did a webinar last Saturday morning, and we gave what 14 or 15
Yeah,
messages, I
14.
think, from those in the spirit world. Great Eagle and I, we worked tirelessly to connect with people in the spirit world, to give messages to, and so many people had messages, and so many people were just thrilled and delighted. We've had some fabulous comments. Thank you so much for those of you who have commented. We've had some amazing comments, and you know, uh, we we know that when we do this, we know that there's so much joy, so many tears, and so much joy all rolled into one. But perhaps that's something that you might consider in the future. Chris.
Lorna says, hello, Rosemary. My mother-in-law passed away in her sleep this morning. She had Alzheimer's. We would like to know if it wasn't painful for her. We are all devastated.
Okay, my wonderful spirit guide has his hand on my shoulder here. There are so many. Okay. Let me start again here. I know you must be devastated. I know that it must be painful, but I also know that through all of this, and I know this because of Grey Eagle, so many blessings come from this. She's free. She is able to let go of the confusions. She is able to, Grey Eagle tells me to see again, to see clearly, to she's able to fly, is and has flown. So I understand that you are devastated. I understand that you all love her. I understand that this is going to be a great loss for you. But boy, oh boy, what a joy for her. What an absolute joy for her. She's been released. She's free. And she can see clearly. She can hear clearly. She can reason clearly. So please, although I am very sad for you for your loss, I'm absolutely thrilled for your mother-in-law, because I'm pretty sure from what Grey Eagle tells me, he tells me she's flying. So there you have it. Chris.
Mark says, "Good morning, Rosemary and Grey
Good morning.
Eagle.
Good morning.
I have a question that I wonder if Grey Eagle can answer. Do our loved ones have the ability to read our Facebook posts when we mention them, how we miss them, and post on their rebirth day memories of them?"
Well, I love, I really like this. The answer is yes. However, you know, when you are thinking about them and just prior to writing things down and prior to putting things on Facebook, they're already with you. They hear your thoughts. They are aware of your feelings. So they are part of you. They are part of your family. So even as you're posting, or before, even prior to you posting on Facebook, they're fully aware of what you're doing, Mark. They're fully aware, and they can hear, and they can, more importantly, they can feel what it is that you're feeling. So as you go down memory lane and you take your friends on Facebook with you down memory lane, your family in the spirit world and your friends, they're already going down memory lane because you took them there before you actually posted. I hope that makes some sense to you. But I do love the question. Chris.
Shamant says, "I'm learning astral projection / travel. Can
Oh,
you please share some do's and don'ts or advice for beginners?"
yes, don't do it. Do not do it. I think that unless you have a really, really good teacher who has taught you first and foremost how to protect yourself, how to keep yourself safe, how to make sure that you can't sort of get carried away, let's say. So, I mean, I would never teach it to anyone. I would never teach astral projection to anybody at all. I teach lots of things. I teach people how to raise their level of consciousness. I teach people how to connect with their higher self. Occasionally, when that happens, and when people I'm talking about students who really, really know and understand what it is they're doing, occasionally those students will have the experience of astral traveling or astral projection, whatever it is. They will have that, but only because they've had all of that other training and all of that other knowledge and all that other understanding beforehand. Traveling is dangerous. Just so, Samantha, you probably will never talk to me again, because I know you're excited about it and I know you want to do it. And I know so many people think, oh, what a good idea this is. Yes, well, it is not a good idea. Please remember that there are many, many, many negative forces out there, just, you know, waiting and willing to confuse you and to, you know, take you down a path that you really don't want to go down. So You probably really regret now that you asked me, but don't do it. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. And the person who is teaching you, boy, oh boy, you know, I have my opinions on that as well, which are not particularly good opinions. So you don't go into teaching people astral projection. If you know what you're doing, you would never do it, number one. Of course, this is only my opinion. Who am I? It's just my opinion. You can ignore it completely. But number two, you need so much more knowledge, so much more experience, and so much more. What if you got into trouble when you're out there? There you are, out in the universe. What are you going to do if you can't get back? What are you going to do if you encounter something you don't know what you're going to do? Please, please, oh gosh, I don't want to scare people. I don't want to worry people. But would you stop? That's my advice. I'm so sorry. And you know, you have so much to give. You have Samantha, you have so much of yourself to give, and you're trying to rush the process. You're trying to hurry it through. Let's try this. Let's experiment with that. Moving on, Chris.
Judith says, thankfully, I will be spending a bit of time with my sister in Texas after Christmas. I'll be taking old pictures for us to look
Oh,
and
nice.
laugh at. Memories for both of us.
Oh, oh, Judith, that sounds like a lot of fun. Can I come? That sounds like a lot of fun. Uh, Reese and I, we often go down memory lane. Not that he remembers, but I do. But I think it's part of my job as a grandmother to talk about, you know, the things that I did when I was a little girl, or my family did. I think it's my responsibility for him to know his family and to know his roots and to know where we came from. So we often go down memory lane. But it's funny because we do these quizzes, and I'll say, okay, in the very, very, very olden days, that's roughly in Victorian times. Um, in the Iron Age, the Bronze Age, the Stone Age, and so on, we do that. Okay, so we've got those ages. We've got the Victorian era, which I will say, it's often termed the Victorian era, but I will call it the olden age. And when I'm talking about me, I'll say in the very olden days, that's me. That was when I'm a kid. The olden days is still me, and partly is mummy when she was little. But I think going down memory lane is one of those joyful things. You can have so much fun, you can have so much laughter, but you can also share it with, you know, with other people. We did our cracking up show on Monday night with my two Ks, my two friends K and K, and we sort of went a little bit down memory lane. And we, if you missed cracking up, you can actually find it. I do believe, Chris, on YouTube. Can you?
Exactly.
So we are the three old ladies, and there's a wonderful song. Anyone from Great Britain listening in, you'll know, oh dear, what can the matter be? Three old ladies locked in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday to Saturday. Nobody knew they were there. And so we sing that because we're the three old ladies, with the three old British ladies. They're much younger than I am, but that's beside the point. You know, going down memory lane. So if you want to see out my memory lane, go to YouTube and look for Cracking Up. K-R-A-K. I know. Crack, K for K, R-A for me, K for K, cracking up. And we had a lot of fun. We talked about how we met. We went back in time. And we're going to be doing that, you know, maybe once a month, maybe a couple of times a month. We're going to be, the three old ladies are going to be getting together. Three old British ladies, I might add, are going to be getting together and going down memory lane. So Judith, go for it. Have fun. Chris. Hey there, Chris. Oh no. Hello? Hello, hello, Chris. Chris. I don't know if you can see me. I'm going to get on my, let's see, where are we? Get onto my FaceTime, call Chris. I might need to get out, get back in again. Let's see. See if I can get out.
We're going to give Rosemary a second here. She somehow managed to have her internet to go out on her, so she's trying again. And it looks to me like all the comments in the chat room have completely disappeared. So maybe you could send your questions back in again, and that would be great. So Rosemary, I was
Hello?
just saying, can you hear me?
I can, but I lost you there. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it looks like the internet went out totally. All the questions in the chat room have disappeared.
Oh,
So people will have to start that again.
Okay, all right. Do we have anybody there? Is there anybody there, Chris?
Well, it's showing that everybody that was on before is still here, but it does not look like the chat room is actually working or open to put things in, which is very strange.
Oh, I tried to FaceTime you. Did you get that?
I did, but I was sorry, I was trying to manage this.
That's okay. I just wondered if it had any connection to it. But
Well, because I could hear you in the background here as well, so I knew you were going to be
oh,
popping right back on.
okay. Did you hear me say hello, hello, hello?
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I
at least
don't know what to do about this chat room thing though, Rosemary, because people are not able to get in. What do you say we both log out and log right back in?
works for me.
So everybody, if you can hear us, if we're broadcasting, give us 1 second and chat back in with us, okay?